Good morning. Welcome to the Gardening with Gill video series. It is late April 2021. I'm your host, Will Redfern, and in front of me, as usual, is Gill Gillespie. Give us a wave, Gill. We are both Norfolk master gardeners. Gill has been growing vegetables his whole life, starting when he was a boy growing up on a farm in Southwest Virginia. You may also know him from Gardens in a Flower Pot, where he worked for almost 3 decades. We are filming this series with the intent of showing residents of Norfolk useful tips in planning, planting, and maintaining their veggie gardens, which is something we think is an attractive alternative to growing your own food. To buying your food in the grocery store. We actually are going to grow our own food. Well, today it is late April 2021, as I said. We are in the beautiful East Ocean View Children's Garden where the master gardeners work, and we are going to put in some onions. So Gill, tell us what to do.
Good morning. Okay, for our onions we're going to do a double row planting in our garden here that saves space. And this is like a spring crop where we put in the small rooted crops and it doesn't get large, so we're going to put the onions in. We're going to do our double row planting, which we've demonstrated in other ones. But we laid off our row, we raised the little ridges, and we leveled them off so that we have 2 planting areas here, one on each side of the water trench that we left in the middle. So we put a little row in here, okay, to lay off for our plants that we're going to be planting. And today we're going to be doing onions. For this garden today, we're going to be doing what we call table onions. The onions that don't get real large, but they're the serviceable type onions that you'd use for cooking and so forth. So today we're going to be planting some yellow astute gardens, and we're going to have some red comet onions in our garden. And but they'll never make the big onion. If you're going to do the big onions, you need to get sets. And they'll be like the Spanish type, sort of the vidalias, the big ones. These will make table-size onions. So to do the onions, we're going to do a little color today. We're going to have yellow onions, and we're going to have some red onions. And to plant the onion, we've got a little row laid off. You take the onion and you just set it right down the row and give it a little bit of a twist. I call it screwing them in, okay? And tighten it in, but you don't cover them. Just screwing it with a white one, a yellow one, and a red one, okay?
So the tip is showing.
So the little tip shows, okay? And they're about 2 inches apart. And we'll just screw them in as we go along so that the tip shows, and it's down in a little trench for water. When it waters the next time, it'll settle the soil around them. And they're just screwed in to the little tip shows, okay? And so that's how we plant our spring onions. We'll have a yellow one and a red one. We'll have pretty colors.
All right.
All right.
And we are going to finish out the rest of the double row with what, radishes, lettuces?
On the other side of the row, we'll have some radishes. We'll have some more carrots. We'll have some lettuce. And maybe some kohlrabis and these type things, like root crops that don't take a lot of room. They can be grown close together.
Okay. Well, that is planting onion sets and using the double row planting method. Thanks, Gill.